All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Todd Rains here from Woodturning Tool Store. Back with you. A 2 week little break, I guess, or hiatus. Let me know if I'm bit of a around the shop, setting things up here this afternoon. A little late, so I am not 100% sure how things are looking and stuff on the back end. I haven't checked my YouTube yet. I'm just doing that now. But if you can hear me and see me fine, put a thumbs up in the comments. That would be helpful. And just double check that the stream health is going well. And make sure that I can be, yeah, it looks like I'm on. So good. Excellent. Stream is healthy. So anyway, my name is Todd Rains from Woodturning Tool Store here in Allen, Texas. I come to you on Facebook and YouTube Friday afternoons. Most Friday afternoons. I took the last couple of weeks off for various reasons, but well, last week it was super cold here, so and other things going on that weekend. So I took the weekend off last week, and then the week before was another event that had to do. So, but 2:30s on Fridays is typically when I come to you, and kind of just do a little live stream with the topic behind me, all things wood turning, tools, equipment, processes, and techniques, wood and materials. And so that's kind of the focus. Again, in the description of this video, this live stream, I always kind of put in there, I don't really have anything planned. I would really like to have you folks lead the discussion and make, give me some ideas of what you want to see in these live streams, and let me know if there's any particular subject, whether it's tools or equipment, processes, techniques, and all that kind of stuff. So, but otherwise, I do kind of come late to the party, if you will, with some thoughts and ideas of what I might talk about. So usually it's the night before. I kind of ask my wife, Shelly. She says, I ask her, what should I do tomorrow for the live stream? She goes, I don't know, whatever. But so it kind of ends up that way, and I hope it's okay. But every once in a while, I do get an email from people asking about certain things, and so those are the kind of things that I'll talk about. I think I did that 2 weeks ago. Somebody asked about the Tony asked about the woodcut tools a few weeks back. I did a weekend that, and then I'll forget what else the topic was. But anyway, that's the kind of thing. I kind of like that idea of having you guys lead the way, if you will. So, look, I made a comment myself, Todd Rains. Everything looks good. That's Shelly inside on my account checking things out. So, thanks, honey. And David, good to have you here from the Pacific Northwest. Good to see you again. Cindy, thank you for dropping in. Looks great and sounds great both places. So, this is Cindy and I kind of geek out on some of this tech gear and stuff. But I'll ask all of you if you see anything different in the way I look today. So I made a few changes to my setup here. And so if you can kind of notice a few changes, let me know. If I, go all the way edges of the screen this way, all the way to the edges of the screen this way. Yeah. So, and now I've got my t-shirt logo in picture. So that'll give you a hint. Dave Leader, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Audio and video good. So appreciate it. Hopefully my picture isn't too orange or red. I've tried to correct the colors as much as I can, but let's see. Diana Doherty says, I just bought a Proform hollowing tool and I really don't know how to use it. Any chance you can give some instruction? Yeah, it's a good one. So, okay, let's put that on the agenda today. I will bring it out. Do I have a chunk of wood here? I think I got something I can, yeah, I get that little chunk. That'll be a good piece to look at. And let's see. Shelley says, you don't disappear. Yes. There, Cindy's got it too. Yay, a full-size green screen. You look great. Yeah, so before I had to crop myself in like this, and my hands would disappear. I would disappear off screen. I was able to zoom the camera out a little bit to get more of a sort of a upper torso shot. So, and I got a little bit of headroom there. I could probably tilt the camera down a little bit, maybe, but yeah. So here's here's the full green screen, and this is what my shop looks like. Let's see, let me go back to that. So that's what the shop kind of looks like behind that green screen. So I got my tool chest back there. Well, you can't, I'm not pointing in, but you can, my tool chest behind me. Behind that, the dust collector. Behind the dust collector is the closet door for the hot water tank. And then off to the left is shelves in the back wall holding tools. There's a bench back there. And then the bandsaw with the hose draped over it and a clamp on top. So yeah, that's kind of behind me. The thing in the top right corner is a mini split AC unit. Keeps it nice and cool in here in the summertime. So yeah, that's the shop background. Yeah, you can put them down there. I got one out here, but yeah, thanks. Shelly got a couple of Proform tools from the inventory, so I've got one down here that I'll pull out and we'll use. And I got the new one, the Flexi. We could take a look at that as well. Let's see. Yeah, so that's the shop background. There's a couple little knobs you'll see. Oops, I'm kind of. It's in the picture right there. Those are actually knobs of my monitor up front here. If I go up here, so right here is a monitor. It's just out of frame. So anyway, so that shot just kind of shows the background. Not sure if I'll use that in any sort of demos or anything. I may leave it behind me. I'm not sure. If I go down to the bottom corner, doesn't really come with me. It's not part of my my background that goes in there. So anyway, just shop fun, tech fun, and stuff like that. So yeah, what was that picture? So there's my contact info. So if anybody has any questions about the tools or things I talk about, go to Woodturning Tool Store. You can find my phone number there. You can find my email address. Contact form is there. So we can take a look at that. This is some fun. I'll be showing that here in a second. This is something I did about 4 or 5 weeks ago, prepping for. And do I have it on here? Hang on. Let me just see. Bear with me a second. I've got to. Oh, I don't have it. Hang on. Okay, I got to do some. This is part of me not being fully prepped, but that's all right. We just kind of wing these things, and let me quickly get there. We will load up this graphic and talk about. There we go. Spring Vendor Showcase. Excellent. So this is coming up soon. April 1, 2, and 3 at what did I say? What did we say? 2 to 4:30 Eastern time. So 1 to 3:30 Central. I'm in Central time zone. Lyle's on Eastern. So is John, I believe. And then Steve and I are in Central. Cindy is in Mountain time, so that would be 12 to 2:30. And then Joe Fleming out on the West Coast in San Diego. So the 6 of us get together and put on this little 3 evening event, or 3 afternoon. This is afternoon time event, free of charge. Zoom meeting. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We'll talk about some of the tools. We'll do some mini demos, perhaps a collaborative, and then we're going to have an egg challenge. So hence the egg turning I've been doing. So so yeah, check that out. There is yeah. So Cindy dropped a link there, and I wonder. I do have this. Do I have this going? Yeah, I do. I do have that going. So there we go. A little little banner scrolling across the bottom of your screen. So go to the website, sign up there, woodturningtoolstore.com. Go to the events page, and you'll find it there. And that should be a lot of fun. So I just want to catch back up on some comments. Oops. Philip says, "Have you changed the camera to a wide angle?" Yes. So good catch. I did move the camera back a little bit, and then widen the angle on this lens. Zoomed out a little bit, in other words, and able to get to a wider screen. So let me hide that for a second. Thank you, Philip, for coming and joining. I appreciate it. I'm going to stop that banner for a little bit. It's kind of distracting me as well. And so yeah, Philip, it's adding. I added a little lift to my camera, pushed it back on my stand a little bit, and got a little wider angle. I've got this on a teleprompter, so I had to kind of fiddle around the box of the teleprompter a little bit, but I think it turned out well. And my colors are a little flat but clear. Yeah, that's good. I could up the contrast a little bit. That's the nice thing about this system is I am able to adjust camera controls within my ATEM software. So there, maybe a bit more contrast like that, Cindy. Yeah. That looks just contrast me a bit. Excellent. That's good feedback. Sorry for the geekiness, but you kind of use these live streams to kind of help tune my production a bit as well. Good day, Todd. Michael, good to see you here again. Saw you just a few days ago. And you and my wife were having a good conversation at Cindy's demo. So that was a lot of fun. David had a question. David, do you have any kind of drawing and or instruction on how to make your dovetail cutter for bowl feet? Better yet, have you considered making and selling the tool? So yeah, good question, David. I have a little bit of both, I guess, to answer that question. So in the small plates demo, and in my oval box demo I do for a club, and foreshadowing here, or maybe a future telling, I think my next PRD or personal remote demo will be on an oval box. So that should be fun, and that requires a recessed foot for grip, and using those kind of cutters. So what I have done is created a couple of, so I created this cutter along with my, well, that's actually not ground yet. Along with my, where's the other one? There it is. Teardrop cutters. Created sort of square dovetail shape. This really doesn't quite work on my half round bar to get in to do a dovetail recess. So I've been experimenting with different shapes on that grind. This is the wrong side. I need to put this dovetail on the other corner and grind this away and make a dovetail out here. Then I think that would work better. Otherwise, you use the tool that I used in the demo, and I just have to bear with me a second. Just have to raise this up just ever so slightly to get into my drawer. Well, you probably saw my nasty hair. I didn't get the back of it combed, so sorry about that. Anyway, here's the Shelly's gonna hate me for that one. Here's the tool, and it's really quite easy to make. It's just a 3/4 inch or 19 millimeter high speed steel tool. It's a Sorby tool. This one's I got it at a tool swap with our club, and I've painted in with the Sharpie sort of the shape that you need to cut out. And so what I've did is just take a cut-off saw and cut those little angles off, notch this out. And then to grind that, so if I look at, let me get this little piece of, yeah, that'll do. if we pretend, and I'll just zoom this out just a little bit. If we pretend, let me put it this way, this is a grinding wheel, a nice square one. This is a little fatter than mine. And we put a platform at 70 degrees instead of flat on. Tip it down so you get about a 20 degree or 70 degree angle. And then you can grind this angle. You can grind that angle. And then the square CBN wheel that has the square corners and the grit on the side, you can get into that side as well. To do this side, you need to raise this handle to get a bevel on the inside here. So that's how I do that one. Not really too worried about this surface being ground. Just get it out of the way. You're really cutting with this corner, this flat, and that corner. So that's what you want to grind. Good question. As for other products, perhaps I have been prototyping some stuff, looking at different ideas. So hopefully that helps. Send me an email. I can send you a picture of that tool. I don't really have a drawing or anything, but I think a picture tells 1,000 words, just like a drawing. And so from there, it's just easy enough to make. The nice thing, the thing that makes this work is getting up close with the tailstock in the way. And as soon as I get the tailstock up, we'll pull this out again. But there's very little clearance needed past here to get to the interior. So your tailstock is there. Your tailstock is there. Your tool rest is there, and your tool can get by and cut that recess. So that's the nice thing about it. Good questions. Let's see. Okay, a lot of chat going on between everybody, Cindy and my wife and Michael. Let's see. Cindy says, I love those replaceable tips you're doing. I think you're talking about the teardrops. Okay, I think we're yeah. Okay, Dave said thanks. Yeah, if you need that picture, just email me, David, and we'll send that photo to you. If you're in the small plates demo, the handout that's up on my website has that photo now. So, I got a little bit of wrong corner. Okay, a little bit of light, so I got to drop that down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, one thing with this bigger green screen, I need to reset my lights a little bit. It's a little bit hard to manage. So we've kind of seen a little bit of what I've showing down here. So this is what I'm wanting to kind of show a little bit today before I get the clear this off the lathe and show the ProForm tool. Diana, I'll get to that in a second. I wanted to show what I've been working on. So this little guy, little bunny, is currently painted black. There's probably about 10 coats of paint on this guy. Started with a white gesso, and then several coats of white milk paint, several coats of brown milk paint, and this is 2 or 3 coats of black milk paint. And what I'm going to do is rub that back to expose sort of a multicolored bunny. And so this ginger jar I made years ago is using kind of the same technique. So there's some brown underneath the black, and it kind of gives it that antique, look around the edges. When you kind of sand and scuff the edges, it looks like there's some. And maybe the other camera might get a better pick that up a bit better. So you can kind of see the brown. It looks like it's rubbed up against something on the shelf. The bottom kind of gets worn out a little bit, so it just gives it that sort of worn look to it. There's another piece of brown coming through there. So that multi-layer milk paint sort of and then sanded back kind of gives that sort of worn look. The inside of this guy is just a nice poplar ginger jar. So yeah, so that was a nice little project years ago. I got to make some more of those. These are fun to make. So that is kind of the painting technique I'm working on for this little rabbit. And I picked up these little sample bottles of milk paint at one of the Hobby Lobby or Michael's years ago. Well, not years, I guess a couple years ago. They're in the clearance bin, and so like I think they were like 50 cents a piece or something like that. So, and then a bottle of jar of white acrylic gesso to start with. The gesso just kind of helps seal the wood a little bit, fill in any sort of sanding scratches and stuff like that. Not that it really matters. I'm building this up. It's not a very fine finish, but I really don't want a fine finish. It's really meant to be kind of rustic. I still have to make a little cottontail on this guy. So let me see if not that one, down. So I'll put a little cottontail on him, and his head I'll put on a little swivel right now. It's 2 pieces. You can kind of see I've been practicing or seeing how it's going to kind of rub out there. So we'll put a little dowel in there, and in there we can let his head swivel. The eyes, when I looked at a bunny out in the yard, we got plenty of bunnies. They had these sockets kind of made the face narrower at the top. And so I sanded those just on a sanding disc. I got one over there, and then a little bit of carving. So there's 3 eggs here. 1 egg for the body, 1 egg for the head, and then 1 egg for the ears that I just split. Same kind of idea as I did. I had this idea to make the hip legs. I was thinking of making legs for the backside. I didn't really like the way it was looking, so I scrapped that idea. It's not going to have back legs. We're just going to have front legs. But this idea of splitting the egg is exactly how I made the ear. I made a small egg and just cut it with a handsaw. So 3 egg shapes, and then the feet are just turned little feet, a little piece of dowel. Here's the piece of dowel I turned that from. It's just turned it down. It's a scrap piece of oak I had somewhere. And then used, I got all this stuff sitting all around my shop. Used my sanding stick, my sanding drum, and just sanded them to conform to this profile. So that was a matter of sanding kind of like that to get a very steep profile on those guys. And that kind of went like that, if you can kind of see how that sanded up. So yeah, I'm going to try and get a few drawings together for this guy, at least dimensional in terms of this size egg, this size egg, this size egg, and then kind of roughly the angle of the flat on the bottom here, the flat on here. So this socket up here is probably not necessary, but I wanted a deeper sit down, and so I put a little neck to him. I think it does add a little bit. It makes it hunched in there a little bit more. So, and that's just carved out. So the inside of the ears are carved out, and the eye sockets are slightly carved out. So you could do power carving. I just have this little set of chisels that I mostly use. So a little round one and a nice flat one. So, and then a little veining tool I use to carve out his snout. You can kind of see there's a little nose, and then there's a little smile. It's kind of filled in with paint, actually quite a bit. So I will have to sand that out a little bit, recarve that. But there's little carved lines there for his mouth. So yeah, cute little guy. So that's what I've been working on. The painting takes a few days. You can get a coat done every 2-3 hours, whatever. So over the course of 4 or 5 days, I've been adding the 10 coats or so I've got so far. And then, oh yeah, so I should show that for a second. One of the things that I will have been playing with is sandpaper to kind of scratch things back, or a brass brush. I kind of want that sort of brushed fur look. So we'll have that sort of look on his top coat. With his top coat's going to be brown, so I have to paint this yet again. About 3 more coats of brown on top. And then use that, some sandpaper to expose the white and brown, and then finish it off. So we'll expose the sockets back to white. We'll expose the ears, inside the ears back to white, and then around the body, bottom of the body and the feet, we'll have a little bunny. Or should I say, Shelly will have a little bunny for Easter. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking forward to in terms of the spring vendor showcase. This is going to be a fun event. So if you're turning eggs, these are the kind of things you can make. I might need that, so let's keep that around. And let me go back to that drawing, because there is another critter. This drawing here. If we look at the picture right there of I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 eggs in that one, and this is where I kind of had this idea for these little hip pieces that I cut off this guy. But having that body egg stand up like that looks like a chick. So you could paint that one yellow, and instead of hips, turn them up and make them wings. So I might, if I get a chance to finish that one, I might do that one as well to make a little chick. So, all right, let's catch up here a little bit. Let's see. Yes, she meant the teardrops. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Appreciate it. Glad you're liking that. Let's see. So cute, Diana. Thank you. Love the bunny. Oh, that's a good idea. There's an idea too. Use a magnet for the head swivel. Yeah, I got plenty of those little magnets around. I don't have any out here. They're all stuck to my cabinet back behind me. But little 3/8 inch magnets. In fact, they're on the back side. If I show, tail would do it. Yeah. This guy here, flags I ring turned these flags years ago. There's 3 magnets in the back there. So those size magnets, I got a bunch of those. So those would be perfect. But yeah, that's a little ring turning. I got a bunch of those flags. In fact, you can see them on my background picture. So on the cabinet back there, bunch of those ring turn flags with magnets. Good idea. Let's see. You should show how you use the tool handle as a sanding drum on the lathe. That's a great idea. Yeah, that's a good one too. That sanding drum was a bit. Look, I'm hiding here. There we go. That sanding drum was a bit bigger in diameter, but yeah, it's basically taking a little dusty. Sorry. Taking one of my handle parts, putting Velcro all around it, and then creating a sanding drum. And I'll show you the difference in diameters. So this one was too big to make that little diameter for the foot. So this one worked better. So I did think about it, but I knew it was going to be too big. But this is great for doing the. Did I stick them all? No, I stuck them over there. doing larger, gentler curves like that on the spatula, right? So wrapping some sandpaper around this guy, mounting that on your lathe, and sand away. These are all threaded 1x8, so if you have a 1x8 thread on your spindle, or you have an adapter to go from 1x8 to 1, or sorry, 1.25x8 to 1, then that's going to thread right on there. And you can make yourself a sanding drum with a handle. So I'll show you more handles here in a minute. Good idea. I can talk more about that one when we get the lathe kind of set up. Let's see, Diana, when you're sanding tiny pieces, how do you hold it so you don't drop the piece, or worse yet, burn your fingers? There's a little bit of both. I can guarantee you that I dropped it more than once. One of the things I do have, just right below my lathe is a big garbage can. It's got sawdust in it and some green paper from the green screen. So it usually lands in there. So sometimes it's difficult to find. But and then the other thing I did with sanding that little piece is, there it is. I held it with some vice grips. So vice grips worked well. Let me get off here. So holding a little piece in the vice grips up underneath that handle. I wasn't too concerned. I used oak here pretty hard, and the little indents I'm making with the little serrations there, not a big deal. They're going to get filled in with the milk paint. 10, 12 coats of milk paint is lots of grain filler is what it is. So let's see. Good question though, Diana. Let's see. Yeah, you could try that. The problem, I guess I could have done it that way. That may be a good idea. What I ended up doing was turning the little foot and then the length of the leg, and then part it off and cut it. But I guess I could sand this to fit and then turn the foot and part off at the bottom of the foot. You could do it. You could do it that way. What I think you might have a problem is getting sort of the exact. Believe me, this is not exact. There's a lot of super glue back behind there, to fill in the voids and stuff. But you can kind of see some of it down there. I couldn't get paint down in there. I need to get a little brush and just paint a little bit back in there. But there's a lot of glue in there. But the effect is fine because it just looks like two legs. But trying to get that angle so that they're flush. When I glued them up, I glued them on the surface there to make sure it was kind of flat. So I've got a pretty good flat there, and just glued them and sprayed them with activator with the not super glue, CA glue, and then filled in with thick CA and let it set. And so yeah, it took a few coats for the CA to kind of get the coverage it needed. This thing about there's so many different ways of doing. Oh, I got this over here. Doing these things, but this is just kind of how you figure it out. The next one I'll probably end up doing a little differently, but that's just kind of the way it goes. That's okay. Let's go back to that. Okay, well, that's a lot of talking. Good questions. Really an excellent discussion so far. I'm quite happy, you guys. Shelley's going, huh? Okay, there's got some conversation going on. I'm not aware of. She'll tell me afterwards. No worries. I'm glad. I'm having fun. I'm glad you guys are too. So let's talk about the Proform tool. Get to Diana's question. I've got this center in my headstock. I got to just pull it out and put that away. Let me go overhead. See what I'm doing here. So there's my headstock. Get my banjo out of the way. We've got a little chunk of ash here. I'll use this short piece just to kind of demonstrate the Proform tool. And so I have to premise this by saying I am new to this tool. But I've been using the Michael Hoslock hook tool for years, and they're very similar in what they do and how they work. I'll talk a little bit about the differences that I see in them as we get this set up. I've got a Vicmark chuck, sorry, not Vicmark, one-way chuck with the big 4-inch serrated jaws, and we will just. Let me just measure this first. How thick is this guy? I got plenty of meat there, it looks like. We got 55 millimeters, and I am 18, say 20 down, so I got 35 millimeters to go, so I can go in about another 20 millimeters. So I just want to know how much deep I can go on this guy, so I don't go all the way through. All right. Sorry, 1 second. What's up? Be little? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Get down the small. Look at that. I can go there, and then at this point, I start running off. Okay. So you kind of see where the little screen ends, but not too bad. Okay, so we've got a chunk on there. I need to kind of move this camera so that's not on screen. I'll move this off and back here and reframe that one a little bit. Right about there. Maybe even back a little bit further. That's about as far as it's going to go. All right. Maybe it's all right. That's how I want it. Sorry, just reframing a camera for a second. Let's see if that works okay. We've got, I kind of want to get that out of the way, but that's all right. I'll move that out in a second now. I'm trying to get my tool out. So here is the Proform tool. If I do a overhead and a really wide shot, we're going to look at the whole tool. So there, with the 20-inch handle, the woodcut handle on it, and the bar, and it is about I want to say, about a 14-inch bar, I think. So it's got some flats on it to register. It's got this sticker that's in the way of the opening. I'd probably peel that off, and what you can do is actually sink the tool all the way up. This is where that sticker keeps getting in the way. I wish they didn't put that on there, but we'll just leave it there. You can sink the handle all the way up in there, and get more support down here at the bar. Or you can extend it out and get a longer reach. The cutting head is, there we go, zoom right in, is this sort of hook tool. It's got very upright bevel here. If I hold the tool kind of in its normal position, that is very up and down, vertical. Cutting edge is on the top lip around that whole circular edge. The brass part on top is a guard that limits the amount of cut that you get. The backside is open, and Phil Irons calls that the exhaust. So all the chips will flow out this side. So Phil has got some good videos on how to use this tool. Those videos should be on the website under the product page of this tool, so you can certainly take a look at that. But we'll show a little bit about what I know about it here in just a minute. I'm going to remove my tailstock here for a second, and oh, for crying out loud. And goes your turning tool on the floor. Needs to be resharpened. All right. Oh, there we go. Heavy, heavy, heavy. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Let's go a little bit wider. You can see that turning again. And let's see if we do picture in picture. We will get tool rest up here. Drop that in. And the tool is going to present basically horizontally. If I look at this new that. I had to turn my mic off. I had a big sneeze coming. If I look at the hook tool, the Michael Hoslow hook tool, if I find one here in my drawer, bear with me. All right. Ooh, big sneeze. The hook tool is very similar. Let me just turn that off and zoom this back in a little bit again. In that we've got a outside bevel and an exhaust out the backside. The bevel on this one, the hook tool, is much steeper, I guess, sloped in. This one is quite a bit more vertical. So you can kind of see that there. But the same premise. The one thing with the hook tool is, I gotta put this down because I can't show, is the shaft is here, the cutting edge is off the center of the shaft. So it is a bit different in the way you use it. The way I use this one is the hook is pointing down and then twisted up slightly to 6:30. So I'll call this 6 o'clock and then 6:30. So that's a top-down view. So straight up is 12, straight down is 6, and then 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So that's about 6:30 with the twist. That's how that one's used, and it cuts down this shear angle here. So that's a different sort of use. This one is basically held almost straight up, maybe tipped over to, I guess that'd be 5:30 in my vernacular. So 6 o'clock, tip it over, let the guard kind of hit, and then tip it up until you get that cut right on that edge. So kind of start here at 5:30, tip to 6, and you start cutting. So that's what I'm kind of my speak on how to use this for now. That may change as I use it more, but that's the best way I can kind of describe it. So I'm just getting the tool rest kind of in position to get as much support as I want, but I want to support it on the bar and not the cutter head. So right about there. I would normally probably have my headstock pulled down so I could stand off the end of the lathe instead of leaning over the lathe like I'm going to have to do. And I wonder if I can move this shot over there. That's probably not going to be focused. Let me just bear with me on this one. So I focus that again. There we go. So we got that shot and overhead and that shot. So safety glasses. So I may have to drill this a bit deeper. In fact, maybe I'll do that now with just a gouge. Maybe the one that fell on the ground. Maybe not. What have I got? I've got a little spindle gouge set up here, so. Just open that hole up a little bit in there to get the tool inside. So I would have to, most every end grain hollowing tool, hook tool, ring tool, this tool likely needs to start with a center hole that's drilled. And the way I would describe these kind of tools is for end grain only, which is his end grain, is a little piece of ash. So the grain is going in this direction. And for end grain, when you're cutting the inside, you cut from small diameter to large diameter. So you cut from here all the way out. And so that's opposite from bowls. Wouldn't use these tools on cross grain bowls, only end grain. So we got that cleared out. Let's move this back a little bit, and we'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna tip it over so the brass is hitting, and then tip it up until we're starting to cut. And there we go. We got we move that gauge. I think what I was doing is I had this demoed earlier. Let me zoom in here. I'll show you what happened. You can see the guard now is leaving a very big cut. So I didn't have this tightened down. I didn't check that before I started. So I ended up moving it and then getting a big old cut there on the piece of wood. It's hard to see in that angle, but on this angle, we just took that whole lip away in one cut. So let me get the little wrench out. I got to think about where about that is. I think it's in here. Yep. So you get this little wrench set with these tools, and it's got a little box wrench and some Allen keys. So the box wrench, it's not open end, so yeah, I think it's a box wrench, right? That's what they call it. One of these little guys. So there's a little nut on top that this fits on. We can loosen that and move this guy back over. I need to move him. I need to kind of go off camera a little bit. Let me widen out so you can kind of see a little bit of what I'm trying to do. There's a little Allen screw down in here that's kind of got a cam action to it. So if I turn that, it's going to allow me to move this brass gauge to the right place. There. And then I have to get up close to my eyes because my eyes aren't that great. Sorry. Safety glasses don't help. They're not cheaters. There we go. So I'm looking for a very thin, sort of paper thin sort of shadow line difference between the brass gauge and the cutter. And that's going to limit my cut to what I want. There you go, right into the garbage. And that may be needing a magnet, but I think I found it. Don't go deeper. That's a bad thing. If you lose the brass stuff in there, you're never going to get it out, because I did that a few weeks ago with my brass nut for my spiraling tool. And that was not good. Couldn't use it. Anyway, so we've got that fixed. I'm going to put these guys back in so I don't drop them in the sawdust. So now we've got, oops, wrong way, wrong button. There we go. Now we've got a very thin shadow line along this cutting edge. We should be fairly good now, and it's tightened down to hopefully not loosen up and catch. It's not really a catch, it's just a more aggressive cut. So let me go back there, widen that out, put that back up, maybe widen this out a little bit more. All right. Rubbing on that brass piece. Trying to find where it's going to cut. It's a little, I might have got it too buried, or it's not cutting. Maybe I need to. My tool rest has a collar on it that limits the height. I need to change the height of the tool rest maybe. This does sit up a little higher than the hook tool, so just because of the nature of how it's made. So I dropped the tool rest a little bit. Yeah, we're getting cutting. That's it. So tool rest height is important to get the cutter where it's going to cut. It's getting a little aggressive, so turn it back to 530. Yeah, see it open up again on me. I somehow don't have that tightened down enough. I don't know. Just got to figure that out. Oops, I'm going to lose these tools. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just kind of off camera. Just loosening this thing off again. I think that's okay. Put that on a magnet. There we go. All right, put that guard back in place. Matter of finding the right angle and the right place on the tool rest. And I think I got to go up maybe just a smidgen more. I'm just trying to see where I'm trying to cut here. Well, this isn't, this definitely is going to take some more practice. This is kind of how I felt with the first time using the hook tool. But very interesting tool. It's so efficient at taking stuff away. It's crazy. Sorry again, just off camera here. Just trying to. Adjusting this guard a little bit. But yeah, take a look at the tutorial videos on the website. I don't think that's going to cut either. I don't think I exposed enough of it. You can get one place to cut, but not the other. So a little bit of experimentation of where this brass cover needs to go, I think, is really the key to it. Getting that in the right place. So here's the little cam action. Whoops. Gosh dang it. Stay there. Cam action set screw. You can kind of see as I turn this Allen key, that head moves. I'm going to turn that off. That's distraction. So that Allen screw down in there has a little cam action to it. I think the idea is to be able to tighten this brass gauge down and then just use that to make minute adjustments. Put that there. And that'll be, that should cut now because there's a lot of tool exposed there. Okay, let's turn that on. In that little hole. Got some bumpy wood right in the corner of this thing. Yeah, it's the pith area in that little crack, but it's cutting through it fine, and the surface is not bad. It's a little bumpy with my cutting, but that's got it tuned in. So there we got it tuned in finally, and we got a nice sort of clean cut. Maybe switch over to that. Turn that off. So you can kind of see that. I don't know if I can zoom that in a little bit. If that's going to focus. That might be too tight. Yeah. So not a bad tool to use once you get it tuned to where that cutter is just exposed correctly. The nice thing about this is M2 high-speed steel, so if I get my little hone out, it's just a little hone right up around. I can't really do that with my left hand very well, so I need my right hand to hone. And let me just go there, and we'll show it here. There's a nice big bevel here to register against, so you can get your hone on there and hone up the outside, and that'll sharpen that guy up. Same thing with the Michael Hoslick hook tool. I hone more than I grind, so do that as well, and all will be, tools will last long. You'll get a good idea of how honing works. Oh yeah, that'll cut wood pretty good. So if I tip it over to 530 and just get it to where it's going to cut. It definitely pulls it into the wood, going that direction. So maybe pulling from the inside out, which makes sense for me as a end grain hollowing. Yeah, still trying to figure out that bottom cut. Get right on that bottom, right underneath it, just like a cutting edge. And why am I not cutting up that? I'm just checking the tool, kind of looking at it here to see if there's a reason why I'm not cutting in one certain spot over the other. I think it's all about presentation at certain corners of the curve down there. Up the side, I can cut with this side fairly well. Right, not a problem, just tip it over. Just a slight twist. I'll come out here, maybe try that corner out here. So it does want to kind of self-feed that way. I think it's just the way it kind of goes. We turn it over. Very quick and efficient, though, at hollowing. Can certainly see the kind of shavings we're getting, right? Nice curls, lots of them. That's not a bad surface. I got some wormholes here in this stuff. That's probably why we're getting a little bit of bounce down there. Just taking my time to kind of get over that crack. Not the best piece of wood, just practice wood more than anything. What else do I got down here? I got my cup center. Oh, I got this big chunk of mesquite, but I need to save that for another demo. I have A piece of box elder flame. That's pretty dry, dusty wood. Oh, we got some cedar elm. That's going to be hard to do as well, but same idea. More practice wood. So that's what I would. Oh, excuse me. I got a little hiccup going. Get some practice wood, Diana, and end grain log. Nice 4 or 5 inch section. Stick it on a lathe. Drill a pilot hole. You want it big enough to fit the tool in. So for this, I'd say 3/4 inch hole, maybe a little bit bigger, and give it a practice. Give it a go. It'd be a lot easier to control if I was standing on the end of the lathe instead of reaching over. But yeah, excellent demo. So the other thing that we've got in is the Proform Flexi, which is a hollowing bar, similar style of cutter on the end, one of these Proform type hook tools, but a smaller version that has a link or a sort of a flexible pivoting head. I'll pull it out here. You can kind of see. So here is the cutter head. Same idea. It's got a single bevel on the outside, brass cover. The cover is just slightly different because it's on this link type system where you can adjust. I hope that this is 5/30 seconds. It is. Nice. Oh, I should have done that 1 second. Oh, that's stubborn. That one. There we go. That took a little bit. Tighten down and shipping. I don't know. So, but you can change the attitude of this guy. So you'd want to change it so the cutter is still in line with the bar. So maybe something like that. And like that. So we're still kind of in line. No, I didn't quite get it. There we go. So now you can reach around the inside of a lip. The other thing this comes with is another link. Can't get it out, of course. Comes with a round link so that you can get it even more around a corner. Right? So you can add that link in, replace this link with that link, and you can get more around that corner. So this is a smaller shaft than its bigger brother. This is, I think, 5/8. This is 1/2 inch. So you can see the cutter heads are different too. They're roughly the same shape, but the Flexi is a smaller guy. It's also got a different head because it's in a link. And this is a shafted tool. So do I have... Good Lord. Okay. I really got to get a bit more prepared. So fits in a 1/2 inch tool adapter. So we can sink this all the way up as far as we want. And now we've got a nice little hollowing rig for maybe smaller pieces, smaller ornaments. Of course, I would put on a longer handle, but with the modular handle, you can add sections as long as you want. So, yeah, that's the Proform Flexi Hollower. Comes unhandled, and it's little parts and pieces. We've got this little cup wonder tool. My first foray into, well, I guess not really true. But started carrying this guy from Woodcut. Sorry, get in there. That's the hex key. This is a typical carbide cup cutter. It's a fairly large cutter. This one is carbide. We do have these in M2, sharpenable M2 cups. So something new I hadn't seen around is these carbide ones you just rotate and replace after they're used. The M2s you can stick on a stem sharpener or some other sharpening tool and sharpen them up. So those are available as well. That's kind of new. There's a few other things that are new that I didn't bring out here. So check the website. Does that go in like that? Sorry, I'm boxing and unboxing things on my live stream. Not something I really want to do a whole lot. I should put this away because this is inventory. So yeah, if you got questions about those, Todd, let's see. Hang on 1 second. I'll back up here a little bit. Catch up with the chat here. There's Diana. So, mine was open too far and was getting huge aggressive cuts. Yeah. Close it down to you just got sort of a thin, consistent gap around your brass gauge and the cutter. That I found is the biggest trick, and it may take, like you saw me 4 or 5 times to get it just to the sweet spot, and then once it's there, you kind of know what it looks like, and you can get it down there, back there a lot quicker if you have to. The nice thing is you don't have to take that brass guard off to hone with the hone, right? So that's nice. Matt says, I lost the screw from my Sorby spiraling tool also. After contacting customer support, they were able to send me a replacement. Matt, great to see you again. Matt was, gosh, I'm going to get this from Ocean Woodturners, or is it the ART group? Did a club demo for them a few weeks back. Good to see you again, Matt. And yeah, good idea. The problem with mine is the other side of where the brass threads into the holder through the spiral tool. Those threads are gone. So I don't know what happened to it. I must have damaged it somehow or something. But it's such an old tool. I think I'll probably end up getting a replacement. In fact, I put it on my Amazon wish list. So who knows? It may come for Christmas. So, but yeah, good. It's good when you get good customer service like that. Mine kept opening on me too, no matter how tight I had it. Yeah, I think it's a matter of getting it in the right place, and then when you get an aggressive cut like that, there's a lot of force. I think it's going to open it up. But once you get it set, Diana, I think if you're able to kind of just make those nice, get it twisted to the right angle, so you're just getting the cover kind of riding on the basically riding the bevel of the brass cover, and just tweak it just ever so slightly so that you can start getting a cut. And that should, having that right gap, should allow you to kind of be a little bit consistent with how you cut. I did notice it does pull into the cut quite a bit. So what I would suggest is start from the center and pull out. You can control the cut a lot better that way. So, once I get more comfortable, I may be able to, go both ways, especially with hollowing. You're not really too worried about inside a hollow form like Phil does. Not too concerned about the feel of the inside so much. I'm just straightening this out for boxing. But yeah, hopefully that helped. Put that in there. Put the parts back in there. Put that back on the shelf. This one, the Proform tool I was using, is one that I've acquired or bought, I guess, from my own store, if you will. So this one resides out here in the shop. And just stick it down on the, lean it up against the back wall here. There we go. Back out of the way. Let's see. Larry says, Larry, good to see you again. Saw you last night at the club meeting. Good to have you here. Might need a better wrench. Maybe that little box wrench works fairly well. It's the right fit and about the right size. I left it up. I might even just leave those up on my, well, no, I think I'll put them away. But I mean, it's, it fits. But yeah, you could, if you can get another wrench. The thing is, there's not, it's not there's a lot of room, but just trying to, it's nice to have a small wrench like that to stick to a magnet on your headstock. So, but yeah, if there's a better wrench that you have in your shop, grab one of those. Possibly dust between surfaces. Yeah, I had a little chip in mine when I got that aggressive cut. I did have a chunk of wood stuck there. Can't stick around. Okay, we'll see you later, Matt. Good to have you here. Turning is the hard part. Yeah. Oh, tuning. Yeah, tuning is the hard part. Yeah. As you see, it just takes a few practices to try and get that set right. But don't get frustrated with it. Keep trying. Use some practice wood. Use the soft woods. Wet woods are going to be easier for you, Diana, to practice with. So if you got a log section you just got from your club or from your own harvesting, use that. I got a runny nose now. I think that from my sneeze earlier. So you'll have an easier time with wet wood over dry wood, and certainly crappy wood like this is not good to practice on. So some tips there for making it a little easier. You're cutting on the end grain where that knot is. That'll be different. Yeah, absolutely right, Cindy. Crappy wood to practice with, but it's scattered all over here. I got nothing but crap left here. I got to get some new wood to practice with. What's your opinion on the steel Proform and similar hooded tools that use round carbide insert? So yeah, the steel is a standard sort of M2 as far as I know on the Proform tools, and sharpenable on any grinder and a hone. So so far no issues. The yeah. Haim says hello. Good to have you here. And let's see. Todd, do you sell the hone you're using? Yeah, Bill, I sure do. This is a whoops, I'll get myself out of the way. Not that one, Todd, wrong one. There we go. This is a DMT hone. They're on the website. This one is the 4-inch continuous. I like this one. It's nice and heavy. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a variety of other ones that I carry in the store, credit card style, these little hones, credit card style, the little simple hone. These are great for Forstner bits and stuff like that, so I like them for that. And then the sort of 2-in-1, a cone hone, which is great for inside the flute of a hook tool or a ring tool, or even inside the gouge on one side, and then on the other side, a nice flat hone that you could use, just kind of like that one as well. I carry the fine, which is all the red, extra fine, which is around 600 grit, which I think is perfect for honing and stuff like that. So, oops, I want that continuous one. This one lives by my lathe. I also carry the little half round 1/4-inch diamond hone. This is what I use to sharpen the inside of the hook tools for the most part. And these are actually made by DMT as well. DMT is a USA company. These are diamond impregnated. Most of it's made here in the US. there are some parts made overseas. Diane, I'm glad that was helpful. So hopefully you have better luck next time practicing. Yeah, M2 cutters. I want to say they're 13 millimeter, but I don't know for sure. I'd have to check the website again. They come packages of 2 as spares. I'm not on the screen. Sorry, they come as packages of 2 as spares, either the carbides or the M2s, and either spare fits that little Wonder Cup tool. Yeah, it's kind of a neat thing. I haven't tried those yet myself personally, so I don't have any experience with them at this point. But there's some videos on the product page you can certainly check out. So, oh my gosh, let's see, where is? I want to plug this again. Vendor Showcase, April 1, 2, and 3. Go and register. We're going to have a lot of fun. Cindy is doing a live stream, I want to say next Wednesday. Cindy, is that right? Let me know. I think it is 20. I don't have my calendar up. Take me a second just to get it. It is going to be on Thursday, the 24th. Thank you, Shelley. So Cindy is doing these series of live streams to her Facebook and YouTube next Thursday, noon Mountain. Thank you, Cindy. Excellent. So I don't have your graphic up. I should get you your graphic, but yeah, check her out too. They're a lot of fun. Diana, thank you. Glad you could stick around, at least see the demo. You got any questions about it? Please drop me an email or a phone call. I'll do what I can to help. Let's see, Thursday, 24th. Oh, she got it on YouTube as well. Good job. You're like multitasking. I signed up to the vendor showcase. Excellent, Philip. I'm glad you're going to join us. It's a lot of fun. So, and there's my store. So, at the store you can find. I wonder, can I? Maybe this might be easy to do. I don't know. We're just going to try it. I haven't really try share screen. What can I share? Window Chrome tab. Let's do that. Okay, this will work. Okay, I am sharing this Chrome tab. How am I sharing it though? I don't know. Did I stop sharing? No, I didn't. Anyway, so this is a little strange in StreamYard doing this, so I'm not used to it. I can do it in Zoom. Let me just see. Does this doesn't work? Oh, okay. Hang on. Add to stream. So, and let me go back on here. There we go. Let me change my background. Let's just do that one. All right. So this is the website. Let me just drop Cindy's comment down here for a second. So upcoming events. Down here, the vendor showcase. It is 3 days, so there's 3. They all lead to the same place. Click on that. You can read a bit more about it. And then down the bottom here, there's a link to register. Click on that, and that's going to take you to, it's not showing it on the stream here, but it opened up another window for a Zoom registration link. So that's how that works. So I would like you to go and do that. The other thing is in Explore Woodturning. This is how you can find these live streams as well. So did I click that? There we go. Just took a while. So all these live streams are here, and all the past ones are down below, so you can take a look at those as well. Finding the woodcut tools, wood turning tools, woodcut tools. You can find them all there. The Proforms, the Flexies. We got scraper heads for these Flexies now. Extra spare parts. They got the shear scraper in there. Phil Irons has his own. I like mine better, although his is quite nice. But yeah, anyway, so you can find all those there. on the website. Thank you very much. I appreciate the questions or the hints for that. So let's see. Vendor showcase. David, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Michael, excellent. We're going to have fun and see you there. So, well, folks, I think you need to tune in to the vendor showcase. You got to find out what this little bunny is going to look like. I don't know if I'll show it next week on my live stream or not. We'll have to see how it goes. But this little guy will be there at vendor showcase, and I hope to have a little bit more info on how I made it. I got to do a little bit of not really CAD work, but drawing work to get that done. So that should be a fun one. I think that's I don't even know what time it is. Oh, an hour and a half. That's not good, Todd. You went too long, way too long. But I had a good time. I hope you all had a good time as well. That's not the one that was one. There we go. Okay. I had a lot of fun. I know these are kind of unplanned. I really enjoy responding to your comments. Diana, thank you for the great lead in to showing that Proform tool again. Thanks to all for the great comments and suggestions and stuff like that. So my name's Todd, Todd Rains from Woodturning Tool Store, otherwise known as 230 Todd. I'll be back here at 2:30 on Friday next week. So until then, my friends, we'll see you later. Bye-bye. I really need to make an outro video. One of those cool ones that kind of have some marching band music or some other kind of music. Maybe. We'll see.